can be either perpendicular to face or parallel to ground. And what this does is that, let's go back to my 3D view. And because this is raw, I can create it slanted. And let's go with the 20 degrees. And we look something like this. So now you can see that I have my slanted curtain wall with my mullions. And if I go here and I will do the section view now in this direction, and let's go like this. Okay, now you can see that this is my ground and this is my curtain wall mullion position. And if you can see, now it's perpendicular to face, and the face is the face of the curtain wall. If I keep here parallel to ground, you can see that the position is changed, so it will be parallel with the ground. This is really nice setting. Then the next setting is material. Again, this is a type parameter, so if you need more mullions, we will be the same size with different material. You need to create different types. Again, I don't know if that's the best, but that's how they did it. Okay, now let's talk about, I will get this back to the vertical position. Okay, let's do it this one. And now let's go back to the positioning of the mullions. So if I go to section and let's say that I want to create this panel or I want to move this mullion, let's say I would go on At1 here, and I want to move now this mullion. If I go and use my move command and try to move it, you can see that it doesn't do anything. I can try to draw like this join and whatever, but you can see that the mullions have to be always on the curtain wall grid. So the only way actually how I am able to move my mullions is to move my curtain grid lines. So if I move this grid line down here, okay, not like this. Again, if I move it, okay, now it deleted it because I added this joint here. So let's try again. You can see that now it moved my curtain wall mullions with my grid line, because that's the only way how you can actually modify or how you can manipulate and move the curtain wall mullions. Okay, next thing is that if you have a type property of this curtain wall, you can go here, the same as you could define the panel for this type. You can also define mullions. You can see that the vertical mullions I have none, one, none. And if I go to my exterior grazing, let's go to the storefront, you can see that here, for the vertical mullions, I had some mullions defined for the horizontal ones as well. If I go back here, and I will just select them all, and delete. And now I will delete this as well. Okay, now let's play with this type. Let's go with the layout of the fixed distance. And now if I go to my border one type, and I change only this one, let's go with the rectangular one. In the type, and okay. And we can see that it created something like this. So there's a mullion only on the border one, which is this side. Then if I go for the border two type, again rectangular, and these are only vertical mullions, so this and this. So you can see that border one is on the one side, where the two is on the on the other side of the wall. And if I go with the interior ones as well, you can see that now it will be creating them on this interior curtain wall bricks as well. So this is the way how you can modify this automatic layout by using the type parameters of the curtain wall itself. Okay, let's go with the start font type. And let's create another curtain wall like this. Let's go to the 3D and I will select this one. And okay, now you can see that I have created two curtain walls which are connected together, which are joined. And basically, if I go here and I'll delete this one and this one, I have to unpad it, delete. And we can see that the curtain walls, they are automatically metering their horizontal curtain wall mullions if there is no vertical curtain wall mullion. You can see that here I have vertical curtain wall mullions and here horizontal ones, and these are not metered together, but here, this example, you can see that they are metered together. So this is the way that the Revit does automatically. Okay, now when we are here in this corner, you can see, even if you go to the level, when we just mirror this back, when I go to the level, you can see that I have one over the other one. So what can I do if I want to create a corner mullion? Well, I could create like my own profile, which will be just for the corner, but it will be usable only in one instance. And if I like change the angle here like this, I will have to recreate it or parameters as it or just change it. So for these situations, Revit has actually built in 4 types of curtain wall mullions, which are corner ones. Now you can create them is by selecting both of these corner mullions or mullions that are at the end or at the meeting point of the curtain walls. Unpin them. And now if I go to my type selector, you see that I can change it to, let's say, L mullion. I will delete this, and now it looks something like this. So this is my corner mullion. For the L1, if I go to my type properties again, I have thickness, which is this, offset, the same thing applies, and then leg 1 and leg 2. And these are the distances of here's leg 1 and leg 2. So if I change this to, let's say, 50, you can see that it's making the leg shorter. And the other one as well. So you can modify the appearance of this L curtain wall mullion on this curtain walls joints. The next one is the quad mullion, looks something like this. The difference between the quad and the L1 is in the fact that the L1 has always the same width here on the depth, but the quad mullion, actually, if you go here in the properties, they have a depth 1 and depth 2, which can be different. So if I go with 200, you can see I have 200 here and I have 150 here. So that's the difference between the quad mullions and the L-shaped mullions. Okay. Now the next one is the trapezoid mullion. Looks something like this. In 3D, it's this. Here the parameters are, again, offset, depth, which is this one, and the center width, which is measured from the position of the center line, which is, you can see it here, from the middle to the middle, and this one is 300. So if I change this value in the trapezoid one, let's go back here, and I change this to, let's say, 200, you can see that now if I measure the same distance here, from the middle to the middle, now it is 200. And the last one is the V-shaped corner mullion. It looks like this. It has different parameters, thickness, which even this This instances the factors here. Let's go like 20. You see this like this. And the leg 1, leg 2. Let's go to 250. Look something like this. A 150, 150. This minus shape million. And the best thing about this system, system tab, corner mullions is that if I now change this angle, I will go more like shorter, so you will be better able to see it. You can see that if I change now, it is recalculating and changing it automatically, so I do not have to worry about it and create my custom corner mullion for myself. Okay, now let's talk about the breaks at join. Again, if I go here into my storefront type, I can go to my edit type properties again, and you can see the join condition, which can be vertical grid is continuous. If I zoom here a little bit, you will better see it. And let's go. Now, the vertical grid continuous is that the curtain areas on the vertical grids are continuous. If I go with the horizontal one, you can see that now the horizontal one is continuous. Then there can be like border and vertical grid continuous or border and horizontal grid continuous. So if I go, you can see here, if I go with the border and let's say border and horizontal, you can see that now the border one is continuous and the horizontal ones are continuous. So this is the type property of the curving law. And you can modify this more, like you don't have to put here nothing, but if you put here and you want to modify it, okay, you have different options, and that is that like you guys select this curtain wall medium, unpin it. Here you can modify it by making it continuous or breaking a joint. Let's say that I want to make this one to break a joint. So now you can see that the whole wall or the whole cardinal millions are being modified by the type parameter. But this one I on purpose made different. So this setting is actually affecting the whole million. You can see it on both sides. I can either make it continuous or break a joint. But let's say that I don't want to make it continuous on all or on both sides, but let's say only this side. Now I would like to continue and this one would be broken. I can accomplish this with this toggle here. You can see that now I can only affect this one join by making the continuous either vertical or the horizontal grid. Okay, now let's talk about the profile families, which are driving the geometry of the curving wall areas. Because let's say that I don't want to create just the basic rectangular mullion or something like this, and I want to make it, I want to model it a bit more. So what can I do is, or how can I create the family like this is that I need to go into my profile families. I'll go with the new family, and I'll go with the metric profile, and this one is million. Okay, and you can see this is the interior side, exterior side. Curtain panels are pinned to where the profiles fit into sense. This is the center of the million, the center from Baker and Play. So if I go here now and just draw my new million, like super quick, let's do something like this, just by DI. Okay, let's say that this is my new million profile. Don't forget that this is just the profile family. And if I load it into my projects, I can create a new million type, which will use this profile to drive its geometry, so it will be swept along the path here. And there is one thing with the profiles which you should select now, and it is the profile usage. If you are using the curtain wall on the profile curtain wall on family template, the profile usage here is automatically set to million. If you set it to something else, generic, you can see the profile family in all of them. And these are the other categories which are using the profile families. You can see that, for example, in the wall sweep, I have a profile. So if I leave this to be the million one, and I load it into my project, okay, I will just save it and name it. Now I will load it into the project. And now you can see that in my families, under the profile families, you can see my profile million family. So now I will show you the difference between this profile usage parameter. So if I go here and I create a wall, a normal one, let's go to generic, something like this. And now I'm going to create a wall sweep. And we'll just go to create a new one. And now here in the profile, I have a default one, but I can choose any profiles which are either generic or they're categories as a wall sweep profile families. So you can see that there is no curtain million profile. But if I go here now, and I change this profile usage to be generic, and load it into the project, and go back here now in the wall sweep, I can come and find my profile million and actually create a curtain wall sweep with this profile million or the curtain wall, like this profile which I created for the curtain wall million. So if I go back here again and just add the million, load it into the project. Now it will stay like this, but if I try to modify it, you can see that there is no profile here because now there's no categories as the mostly profile. So this is good when you're creating things to make it a little bit cleaner, because then you would not have too many profiles in like the settings when you are not needing them. Now if I go back here and let's go with this one, unpin it, I will go to duplicate type. And now in my profile, I will choose and see this is my profile million. Okay, and you can see that it looks something like this. Doesn't look pretty good, but it doesn't look that bad. I could play with it to modify it to be better, but I can even model it more. But what I want to show you now is that, let's imagine that, okay, I want to model this more. I would go with an old profile, something like this. And if I try to load it into the project, you can see that I get an error because you cannot actually use the hollow profiles used here in the curtain wall medians. It can be only, you can see here, valid profiles can only have a single continuous closed profile loop. So I can actually model it more. Me personally, I try to not over model things because then it is more and more. I mean, if I would model this even more detailed, then there is more things for Revit to show me graphically and to talk with it, and it will slow down the Revit. So it's always like, do I really need it or I do not need it? The next important thing to remember when creating profile families for the curtain wall medians is this one, but the curtain panels are trimmed to where the profile sketch intersects the center front back reference plane, which is this one. And what this means is that, let's do this thing, want it again. And now you can see that here, my curtain wall panel is going all the way inside, and here it stops at this side. And you can see that here it actually goes inside where I do not want it. And the position of this, like how far away it goes inside, is driven a lot with the geometry which is meeting the curtain wall panel. But this is driven by the intersection of this profile with this line. So this side on this spot. So let's imagine that I would create something like this, for you to be able to see it, load into the project. And now you can see that if I go here, back to the family, this spot will be the spot the curtain wall panel will go up to. So you do not stop on this one, nor on this one, nor on this one. It will go all up to this point. So here you can see that this curtain wall panel is going inside, and it's stopping because it's intersecting right here with the reference line from this profile. So this is important when I'm creating your Boolean profiles. Okay, and now I will show you that if you want to have a detail here, but you do not want to model it, or you cannot actually model it with the whole profiles and stuff, what you can do is insert the detail component in here, or insert directly the cut. And for this, I have prepared a CAD file, which I cleaned. Everything is only in one layer. So here I have my curtain wall profile. I will put it into the CAD view only. Okay. And you can see that it looks something like this. So this is my detail, but this is only like the, okay, I have to unpin it. This is only like the 3D element. If you're not being used to create the geometry in the Revit model, so I can just go and place it over here, and I will draw with this one for the middle, like this. And now I will draw my profile around it. So let's go to create a line. Let's say like, okay, this is not good enough. And it should be okay, it doesn't give my endpoints. So I'll go like this, let's say up to here. Is one. And like this all the way around. Okay, up until here. I will just add this. Okay. So this is actually my profile, where you'll be creating the 3D geometry. And this is just the detail component. Well, in this example, it is not the detail component, but imported DVG file, but it can be also a detail component. Now to be able to control the visibility and graphics of this is I could either draw with the visible parameter, or I will just say that like show me the detail or doesn't show me the detail. I can go with the setting here, which is visible graphics overrides. And you can see that I can check that I do not want to see this on the coarse and medium level. I want to see it only in fine levels. So As loaded back to the project, I'll write the existing version. It looks something like this. You can see that I need to offset it. And this one is offset by 37 millimeters. So I'll probably need to offset this the same, 37. Okay, a little bit better. Probably a little bit less. But let's do it like this. I will just, okay, 1 millimeter less. So 36. Okay, now it goes perfectly in. And you can see that it is curve level. I see it like this. In 3D, you see it like this one. In 3D, if I go, you can see here I have a fine level, but it is still only the geometry is made from the profile. What if I go to my level, you go to medium, the same, and if I go to the fine level, you can now see the graphic from the imported CAD file. So this is pretty cool.